What up, fam? Welcome back to Sports Side. Today's going to be a very interesting episode because I'm going to be traveling. I'm actually going to be going out of town for the next few days, and I'm going to be showing you how I'm going to stay on track with my goal, which is to increase my vertical leap. And I'm going to give you some tips on how you can stay in shape while you're traveling and stick to your athletic goals or fitness goals. All right, so the first thing we've got to do since I'm traveling, got to make sure I pack correctly. All right, so let's get the essentials. Here we go. This trip, I'm actually going to be packing 4 critical things. I'm going to have protein so that I make sure that I retain muscle, especially if I undereat, and I need to make sure for muscle recovery I get my protein. Creatine, of course, because we're loading creatine so that we're increasing our strength and also our recovery rate. And then 3, I bring a resistance bands, because then if I don't have a gym, then I can actually go to a park and I can do exercises to improve my vertical leap or whatever exercise, whatever strength training goal I have. I can still use resistance bands to get a workout in. And number 4, I always bring a foam roller because recovery is key. And if you haven't been paying attention to the channel, man, I'm all about recovery because I don't want anybody to get injured and I want people to get better through performance, especially if they're using foam rollers. So I pack those 4 things and then I'm ready to go. I'm a simple man, so got my protein, got my creatine, yay! Got my resistance band so I can get my workout in. Got my Paul George jersey. You know, you never know when you need that. Anyways, of course, gotta get my purple chugs, purple swag, baby. Yeah, so basically, I got the essentials. All right, so now that I'm all packed up to go, it's time to start getting ready to head to the airport. All right, so here we go. Be honest, I'm a nerd. What am I doing on my phone right now? Checking out fantasy baseball stats. But I do love baseball. It's a great sport. I'm actually doing a connecting flight to Minneapolis. Catch y'all there. All right, thank you. So we're getting kicked off the plane now because there was a mechanical problem. I got my flight connected to Dallas, and I even got my luggage back, and it's coming with me to Dallas. So this is gonna be a dope ass flight, direct flight. Thank you, Delta. Can't believe I'm saying it. So happy to see you in Dallas or on the flight. We finally made it. Getting off the plane right now. Oh my gosh. All right, so I'm with my roommate of college, my man Brent. I was here for his wedding last year. He's really happy right now. He definitely likes that I just ambushed him with my camera and I'm recording this for YouTube. But you know, if it decides to make it, but I'm glad that he's able to pick me up, and I'm glad to be back in Dallas. So now we're actually just gonna head back to his place, and we're gonna wrap everything up tomorrow. I was too optimistic. I thought my bags actually made it through, but that was an error on Delta. So I'm gonna be racing against the clock. Hopefully my suit, because my suit is in that bag, and I need it for tomorrow. So, well, actually I need it for Friday, so that's gonna be an interesting one. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe, and there's gonna be more exciting things as the day goes on tomorrow. All right, peace. So guys, it's been all day today since this morning that I've been waiting on my suitcase to actually be delivered. So I just been bored at my friend's house, but luckily I've had company in the likes of my friend Biggie Smalls. What up, Biggie? What up, Biggie? Come say what's up. What up, Biggie? What up? What up? Look at him. He likes the camera, don't you? Oh, don't like it. One of the biggest issues if you're traveling as an athlete or somebody that just likes to stay in shape is that you may not have access to a gym, and you might have to come up with exercises on the fly, or you may have put all your supplements in the suitcase that you end up losing, kind of like in my predicament right now. So what you need to do is you got to think on the fly. So the things next, but in the meantime, we're gonna have a little bit of fun with Biggie Smalls over here. We're probably gonna play fetch over here in the backyard. So You're so fun. What a cute dog. I feel like this dog is actually babysitting me because I would be so bored without this dog. Good morning, fam. It's another day. Today's the big day. It's when my friend's wedding is gonna be, so I have a few hours before the special ceremony. I'm not gonna be able to bring you guys along, but of course, because my suitcase ended up getting lost, or ended up getting delayed, and then I ended up having to wait to get it back, and by the time I got it back I wasn't able to get my workout in. I decided I'm actually going to go to a park today and get a workout in, and I'm going to be doing plyometrics just because I don't have access to a gym. Because I just woke up, I got to start, you know, with my favorite thing that I always start the day with, and let's get to this. It's very likely that I'm probably gonna have a very tight back, so I need to make sure that I foam roll before I go. The lower region, I always turn my ankle, makes ankle circles while I'm doing it, because when I'm doing the ankle circles, it allows all the muscles around the shin to really get going. Anytime I put really pressure on that, especially my tibialis anterior, and I roll over it, it gets really sore, especially because I've been squatting lately again, and then also doing these exercises, so my ankle mobility is going up, but these muscles are very sore, so I got to make sure that I loosen them up before I head to the park. Now that I'm done foam rolling, it's time for me to actually start getting going so we can go to the park, get our workout in, and actually make it to this wedding on time. All right, here we go. Woo! I always start out with where I try to grab the rim, because what I'm trying to create here, especially with plyometrics, you're trying to get your coordination down, try to make sure that this is something that you can practice so it makes sense in game. So I basically jump up and down trying to grab the rim, or as you'll see later, I'll be doing exercises where I'm actually just touching the backboard or trying to just touch the backboard. Maybe it's the Paul George jersey, but unfortunately it looks like he's going to be leaving the Pacers, so it's a very sad summer for me as a Pacer fan. But hey, it was good times. But no, honestly, all jokes aside, I think it's because the strength training, now that I'm back into, now that I've actually programmed the strength training right, I actually have enough force coming off the ground. The fact that I was able to do it just now, and is actually very comforting. So in regards to a specific date that I want to be done with this thing, that I want to finish, I want that by the time August 20th comes around, that I will have dunked. This is a very special trip that I plan to make to visit one of my friends, and he used to dunk all the time, and you know, I'm gonna give him a shout out right now. My homie Jules, he's gonna be renewing his vows. So now that I got enough of a warm-up by trying to grab the rim, now I'm actually just going to do a lot of broad jumps. So I'm going to be doing a lot of broad jumps, and all it is just, again, that rate of force development that I try to, you know, emphasize during these series, especially in terms of like driving the hips. So the key thing that I want to focus on when I do the broad jumps is I want to get low and get launched, as just jump up, and then also try to go as far forward as I can. So I'm trying to increase my velocity in my jump. But also by doing these, I'm gonna probably go, I'm gonna go to full court length, and I'm gonna do about 6 sets of it. Up and down and back is 1. So I'm going to be doing like 6 of it. I'm actually going to be doing these broad jumps to increase velocity, to increase the power that I have going through my hips, which can make it much easier for me to create that force development, and then also to work a little bit on my conditioning and stamina. All right, so here we go. It is hotter than the Dickens here in Texas. It's like 95 degrees and humidity. There's no way I can do this. I gotta take my shirt off. I gotta take my jersey off. Luckily, found the water fountain so I can rehydrate. Hydration, heat exhaustion is a real serious thing, especially in the South, in places where it's like real humid. So be very careful if you're gonna go outside. Make sure that you hydrate properly. So in between some of my breaks, I'll just run over here and get some water, and then I'll go back to it. All right, so I just finished with, I wasn't able to do all 6 sets because honestly, I gotta save my energy for this wedding. And I feel like I've actually pushed it enough, and I really like doing these. I just gotta do them in a less humid environment, so hopefully when I'm back in LA, we're gonna be able to do 6 as the series goes on. But now, I'm actually gonna do the third element, which is actually just gonna be backboard slaps, and anytime I land, I'm actually gonna stay in a squat position, and then hold for 5 seconds, and then jump right back up top. And I'm actually gonna do it for each hand, 5 reps each hand, and I'm gonna do 3 sets. So it's gonna end up being around 30 reps, but it's really the most important thing is that 5 seconds that I'm holding at the bottom, because it's just gonna get my quads firing, and it's gonna keep making it to where my quads, as they get stronger, they're also gonna develop that endurance that if I'm playing a basketball game later on down the line, if I'm able to dunk, that I'm able to actually just fire it up immediately and everything goes, and I'm gonna be smooth. I'm gonna be jumping up like Derrick Rose or jumping up like Russell Westbrook. That's what I want. So, you know, here we go. I'm gonna get some more water, and then we're gonna do the backboard slaps. All right, here we go. So when I'm doing these are very tiring. I could tell, I think, as when I was doing the left side, my quads were just burning every time I came back down. And then the other thing too is, as I mentioned, plyometrics really helps you. Practicing plyometrics helps you with coordination. And when it came from my right side to up the backboard, it actually wasn't bad. I actually could get it pretty easily, but also was actually kind of jumping forward, which I was just trying to jump straight up, which is fine if you jump a little bit straight forward, just the emphasis is jumping straight up. But when I switched to the left side, my coordination got thrown completely off, and I could barely touch the backboard. And as I was getting fatigued, obviously, I couldn't jump quite as high. So I got 2 more sets of this, and then I'm done. Woo! Excited with my progress. The last time I actually, when I did that last plyometrics video, I was measuring my vertical, and I actually made a mistake and miscalculated it. I mean, I think I mentioned it in the video, or I wrote it down in the video. But as much as this sucks, is that you got to keep pushing through it, because you're not going to get better if you quit on it. So unlike the broad jumps, where I was actually saying that a minute rest was the maximum you can take, when you're getting near towards the end there, because here I'm doing only a volume of 5 reps on each hand, that's something that
you know, you actually want to be able to be laser focused and be at full strength. So if you need to take like a 2-3 minute break, that's totally fine. But when it comes to the broad jumps, that's really like for that stamina builder at the beginning of the workout. And so you want to make sure that you do those, like you want to make sure that you don't take too long a rest break in between. All right, so now it's time for me to go and do these final backboard slaps. Hopefully by the end of the summer I'll be able to block like LeBron did Iguodala last year. If you're struggling with it, make sure to emphasize the arm action. That's what those broad jumps help me with, is get that technique down, so that when I needed to do it, needed to get my hips going, I just use the arm action. Done. My conditioning is terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. So I need to make sure at some point that I consider playing a little bit of basketball. Not too much though, because that's how I originally got hurt when I ruptured my Achilles. I was just playing basketball way too often. After like 3 years of not playing, I went back to playing like 4 times a week. I was squatting, deadlifting, doing all kinds of stuff, playing soccer, but I wasn't eating enough calories. And I think that's also when I got off creatine, probably a month before the injury, but I didn't reduce the volume that I was doing, and I ran into the inevitable, an injury. So when you have an Achilles rupture, it tends to be because of overuse. So that's something I gotta be very careful of, to calm my excitement for getting back into trying to dunk. So now we're gonna head back, shower, get ready. Texas weather, 1, Cyrus, 0. That's hard, so now it's time for me to shower. Good God. You miss me, Biggie Smalls? He missed me. I'm actually like 20 minutes away from the venue, so this is not too bad as long as you play.